Good evening, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. I know I am. I'm having a good day. I think I put my the thanks for watching up at the end on the stream instead of everything else. Oh great, and all of a sudden my computer is running super slow. It's gonna be one of those nights, I can tell already. It's Monday. I have no idea what just caused my computer to slow way the heck down. But it's probably some garbage that Windows put on it that I didn't give them permission to use. Windows likes to put a lot of garbage in my computer without my permission. Almost seems like it should be illegal for Windows to put the level of garbage on my computer that it puts on my computer without my permission. But that's okay, because you know what? Only a little while longer, and then we'll have a new computer, and we won't have to worry about it anymore. So how are you doing tonight? I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful evening. I'm having an okay day. It's been nice. The weather's been nice. Took today and just kind of had a chill day. I did the zombie, and then I did some work on market stickers, and then I took the afternoon and finished watching. I finished watching the Devil May Cry cartoon on Netflix, and that was about all I did today. As far as recommendations go, I'm not entirely certain I would recommend the Devil May Cry anime on Netflix. It wasn't bad. I don't want to say it was bad, but it could have been better. It felt too much like somebody was trying to fit Deadpool into the Devil May Cry universe, and that just didn't work for me. It was... I'll keep watching it. I'm invested in it now, but I could have done with less like blatant ripoff of other things. And what I mean that is, like, if you watch the movie sequences in this show, or the fight sequences in the show, like half of them are literally stolen from other movies. They're just copies, and that's a shame. They had an opportunity here. I really liked Castlevania, and this made me think it might be time to give the new Castlevania a try, the Requiem, which is about Richter Belmont. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what goes on. So, what are we doing tonight? I'm gonna work on the coloring book. And that's the plan. And I'm trying to find my coloring book list of the things that we're going to go into the coloring book. That's what I'm doing behind the scenes while no one can see me. I'm trying to stealthily look for my list of things so that I know what to draw next. It's been a doozy of a spring, let me tell you, and I am ready to get back to work on a project that will make it feel like I'm doing something. So I can at least figure out where we left off. Let's see. I don't see where I have my list that told me what we were going to make, but we've got axolotl, beaver, camel, dung beetle, eel, fiddler crab, giraffe, hamster, indri, and jaguar. So we're at least through the letter J. I really wish I knew what I did with my list for all the other letters, because I had done all 26 letters. I knew exactly what I was going to draw for each letter of the alphabet. I knew what I was going to do, and now I don't know what I did with my list. Is it on this notepad here? This is why you shouldn't take time away from your projects. This is why you shouldn't try to like get a job, do work. You should just slack all the time. That's the goal in life. I don't think it's going to be in this legal pad. I'm pretty sure I put it in my journal, but I don't know where my journal is now. Should be in this one. So let's see. Drawing some heads. Bird nerds. Friday to-do list. This is all from December. That's not helpful. December is too far back. Oh, you know how it goes. I am very much frustrated that I can't figure out what I did with the notebook that has the list in it. Anyway, we're on K. We're on the letter K. I know I didn't pick kangaroo. I know I didn't pick kangaroo for the letter K. I was trying to be tricksy and use a bunch of different things. Trying not to fall into the trap of going the obvious route. Oh well. I have no idea what I do with my notebook. It's gonna turn up like immediately after this stream is done, probably. Be more organized. That's the rule. I have no idea. I have no idea what we're gonna do. So we're on the letter K, and I just really don't know what to draw. I don't want to draw a kangaroo, mostly because we did one for the Resolution Stampede. So let's look up animals that start with K. Ooh. How about, I think kudu was the one that was originally on my list, but how about we do a kiwi? What can our kiwi be doing? Professions that start with K. K professions are all kind of boring. They have a lot of kitchen in the name. Let's make a Kiwi Chef, just because. And if anyone asks, it'll be the kitchen manager. No one has to know. No one has to know. No one has to know. No one's going to know. No one's going to know. How would they know? I told them on the live stream. Okay, we're going to look up a picture of a kiwi now. Images.google.com. Kiwi. Bird. Not the fruit. Poor kiwi bird is going to have a hard time making food as a chef because kiwis don't have arms or wings. So let's see. A kiwi is basically a little circle head and then a little circle body with some little drumstick legs here and a little floofer neck. And you got a long, sharp beak. So we're just gonna rough in, real rough, little beak there. Hi, Leo. How's it going? Hope you're having a good night. I saw you were busy working tonight, putting together a custom order. That's awesome. So we'll go little chef's hat on this kiwi. And of course, how many toes does a kiwi have? You know my rule around here. We have to be as accurate as possible on how many toes an animal has. And kiwis have 3 toes. Like a sloth. Very important that we have accurate toe counts on our animal geeks. So we've got our little kiwi sketched in. I'm gonna try to put him in a little chef uniform and maybe put like a little stove next to him. I think that'll be fun. Oh, hey, hang on. Something weird is going on here. I'm looking over and going, why is the live feed not updating? It's like blank on the screen. And I'm telling you, it's a Monday and a half, y'all. There we go. You guys didn't see me sketching any of these big circles. I don't know anything more important than the number of toes. It is incredibly important that you get the feet accurate. There are a lot of people who will come at you if you don't get the feet accurate. Oops, let's get this guy centered. Okay, there we go. And let's sketch in a little chef jacket. So this jacket needs to come down like this and then up over the legs. And then it'll come around the outside of the body and down around this leg like that. Okay. And then have a little thing here. Give it a little collar line. It has some buttons on it. Looks like 10 buttons is the correct number of buttons on a chef's jacket. Also important, almost as important as the number of toes on a foot. I don't want to be the guy who doesn't get the kiwi toes right. So we'll go there. I think that's a good rough sketch in, and I'm actually going to move it over. And we'll do like a little platform here. Actually, I'm going to put this on its own layer. When in doubt, work on layers. That way, if something decides you really hate something once you've drawn it in, it's a lot easier to get rid of it without having to redo a bunch of work. So we're just going to put in a little kitchen thing here. No, I don't like that. See? Clear it off. I'm going to do an image search for head chef. And all these people are just standing there with their arms crossed. Kiwis don't have arms. This is cruel to kiwi. That's what this is. That's okay. Oops. Those lines should be doubled in here. Okay. All right. Let's work on refining our kiwi sketch, and then we'll worry about other stuff later. So we'll come in here. I'm actually going to bring the opacity down on this layer so it's not in the way. Big old long skinny kiwi beak. And it's big. It's long and skinny. That's what a kiwi beak is. Long and skinny. With their nostrils like this. He's got a little long skinny underbeak. And we'll give him little eyes. Maybe we'll take these head chef pictures where everyone's all, j'arrive. It's about time, slacker. How's it going, Yeti? I hope you're having a good night now that you're back in civilization. They all have like a what you gonna do about it kind of expression in these pictures. So we'll the chefs, not the Kiwi, but this is a Kiwi chef. So we'll give the Kiwi a little what you gonna do about it expression here. Make these eyes are black. And then Kiwi are very furry. Although feathery, but their feather is very fur-esque. Which is probably not okay in a kitchen, honestly. So let's give it like a little chocobo fringe coming down its neck. Like that. And then coming up. Like so. Into its little chef hat. A Kiwi chef, that's right. It's a Kiwi chef. Officially, I'm calling him a Kiwi kitchen manager. Yeah. I can't find my list. I can't find my list from back in January for the actual things that I was going to draw. So I went on the fly. I didn't want to do another kangaroo. So I went with Kiwi. Thought it would be fun. I thought Kiwi is a fun little animal. Also, I thought it would be fun to have a little Kiwi who's sad that the Kiwi can't be a chef because Kiwi don't have arms. So it's like a little bird going, how am I going to cook this pot roast when I can't pick up a pan because of my little armless Kiwi body? I'll have to use my magic Kiwi telekinesis. Hear me out. Kangaroo chef with a wallaby ratatouille. Wallabooey? Like a kangaroo chef who has a wallaby under its hat pulling on its hair to make it cook? Is that what you're imagining there? Believe it or not, I've never actually seen Ratatouille on account of I'm an adult and I don't have kids. Which I wouldn't normally use as an excuse, but people look at you real funny when you go see Disney movies as an adult man with no kids by yourself. Needs a helper. Definitely needs a helper. What type of animal would be a Kiwi chef's helper? I don't know a lot about animals from New Zealand, so I'm open to recommendations. You know, someone's got an idea of who should be the Kiwi chef's helper. Because an animal that can handle hot pans. So like a lava beetle? I don't know. What animals have natural heat resistance? That's a tricky question, I think. Are lava beetles a real thing, or do I just only think those are a real thing because I learned science from video games? That's the question that needs to be answered now. Oh. You damaged my vision for a Wallabooey, yes. Does the fact that you never saw Ratatouille mean you did get the Raccacoonie reference in Everything Everywhere All at Once? How mad are you me when I tell you I never watched everything everywhere all at once? Um, Not for any particular reason other than I just haven't gotten around to it, and then other things came along. And when everybody was super into that movie, I was busy all the dang time. I was hustling. Salamander sous chef. There's those volcanic vent snails with iron in their shells. So let me just start by pointing out that if you think salamanders like fire, it's because you have played too many video games and or D&D games. Or just read too much like mythology. Because the actual animal of a salamander is an amphibian that loves water. In fact, so axolotl are not baby salamanders, but an axolotl is a cousin of what we call water dogs, which are baby salamanders. They're basically the salamander in its tadpole phase. But salamanders got their name after the mythological creature because of their coloring. And not because they actually have anything to do with fire. That movie gave me vertigo. I knew you were going to say you didn't see everything everywhere all at once. I told you it was going to win Best Picture when I saw it in February 2023. Then it won Best Picture. Everyone was talking about how good it was. I know everyone was talking about how good it was, but what was I doing in February of 2023? Think about it. Think about my mental state in 2023, my friend. I was dealing with stuff. I was going through something. All right. I'm gonna look up the volcanic vent snails. And the reason I'm going to do that is mostly because I like drawing snails. I think snails are fun to draw. Volcanic vent snail. Oh, these guys are terrifying monsters. It's perfect. Volcanic snail. The toughest snail in the world. They're like bright red colored. So we'll come down here. And I think these are actually probably close to the same size. If we're being honest, they're probably close to the same size as animals. But I'm going to make the snail like much smaller than the kiwi. Also, snails also do not have arms, so like not a particularly useful assistant, but I like the image. I'm actually going to hide the kiwi for now, and then we'll draw the snail. Whoop 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 whoop. These guys are actually pretty cool looking. I think they look pretty neat. They've got scales and face flaps like this. I got face flaps. What do you got? Nothing, volcano snail. I got nothing at all. I don't have scales. I'm not made of iron. I can't control fire with my brain. Nothing that you volcano snails can do. I mean, I assume they can control fire with their brain. They live in a volcano. And that just feels like a thing that they should be able to do. You know what I mean? Like, why would they not be able to do that? Wouldn't make sense for them to not be able to do that. It makes more sense for them to be able to do that than to not be able to do that. Again, just real rough sketching in this dude like that. And then we'll come over here. We'll give him his own little chef hat. And his own little chef jacket. Uh-oh. Boop. I've already managed to cause Adobe Fresco to freeze up. I restarted my computer, but I didn't restart my iPad. I probably should have restarted my iPad before starting the stream tonight. But we'll survive. I love this concept because I love the idea that we gave him a little helper so that you would have a little helper. So there would be a little dude helping him cook. But then we made his little helper another little dude who has no wings. So there's our Kiwi. I'm going to take our little snail dude and put him here. And then I will clean up his sketch quite a bit too. So let's see. A little Kyle pencil. Should I here's a question for you guys. Should I make the little balls on the top of his snail antennas into eyes? That is not biologically accurate, but it's the most fun thing to draw. Or should I just leave him as an eyeless little snail monster? Because snail monsters are eyeless. Snails do not have eyes. They're terrifying monstrosities. Although, maybe their little orbital thingies are eyes, and they just have different types of eyes than we do. I just don't understand biology. I'm making them into eyes. So what I'll do is I'll start with a round shape like this. Just yeah, I want to, yeah, that is tilted the right direction. Actually, I'm going to tilt it up even further. There we go. He's got me looking up at this. Should be like, yes, chef. Yes, chef. Because this is the sous chef snail. Kitchen Kiwi has a sous chef snail. I'll come over here. Rough in this eye, same way. Womp, 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 womp. See, I told you this is not anatomically accurate, but it's the most fun. Do snails not have eye stalks? There are tons of different types of eyes in the kingdom of Animalia. You stop being a nerd. We live in cartoon land with these animals. That's the most important aspect here. So this little face flap apparently wraps around the eye stalk a little. I zoomed in. I got a more zoomed in picture on my reference art here. So we'll bring it back like this. And this one will do the same. Little freaky looking snail dude. I'm a freaky looking snail dude. That's what his voice sounds like. That's what a snail voice is. Freaky looking snail dude. And then bring his little chef jacket down. Very similar design to the head chef. I wish I knew more about chefs also. Like, everything I know about working in a kitchen comes from like Gordon Ramsay shows and The Bear. And I don't know how accurate any of that is. But I did look up a reference image for a chef uniform, so I know at least like this is an accurate depiction of the one I looked up. Oops. You would think I would know more about chefs, having been married to one for a while, but I didn't learn anything. Snails can perceive light, but only brightness, not color, and they slither away from brightness towards darkness, just like me. So they don't actually have eyes. They have light sensors, but not visual reception. I was right and you were wrong. I'm gonna sing the I Was Right song. Whoop. Womp womp, gum style. Womp womp womp. Hey, sexy lady. All I know is that these lava snails have like black shells and like bright red flesh. According to infoanimales.net, snails/how snails see, the bulbs at the end of their tentacles have photosensitive cells. Those are their eye bulbs. I've worked in multiple kitchens, but never one where anybody was called chef. Right? I've never worked in a kitchen where people wore, well, no, that's not true. I think they wore chef jackets in the actual kitchen at IHOP, but they definitely still wore baseball caps. So every kitchen I've ever worked in, people wore baseball caps. And not to knock baseball cap kitchens, but like very different vibe when people are wearing baseball caps. It's a different vibe all across the board than when they're wearing little floppy chef hats, I think. Just my opinion, man, but like that's my opinion. My nigh unto professional opinion. It's not a professional opinion. But yeah, definitely nowhere I've ever worked has anyone ever been called chef. That is definitely also a thing in my experience. It has not happened. Or I have not experienced, I should say. Oh. This dude is pretty... I'm having more fun drawing this snail than drawing the kiwi. So just so everyone knows, I'm not sick. I have had a pretty gnarly cough for the last couple of days, but it's because my sinuses are draining down my throat and I'm hacking up giant neon green allergy sputum. It's very gross, and now you get to know about it. Congratulations, you. So, if you did not pick up your Patreon packet this weekend, which I don't think anyone watching this stream picked up their Patreon packet this weekend. They went out in the mail today. I did that first thing this morning. So you should have them by Friday. The exception to that being Yeti Detective, who probably has his because he did a website order. I'm calling you out and just giving away your personal information now, Yeti. He did a website order last week, and I took the opportunity to take the money he gave me for shipping on that and put his Patreon in it to rip him off a little more. You're welcome, my friend. So he should have his Patreon package. Although I did not check the shipping today to see if it actually got delivered. It was supposed to deliver on Friday. I haven't checked to see if it actually did. There we go. That's a snail pastry chef or a sous chef. He's a little leany. Little leany. Boop, boop, boop. Whoopa Gangnam style. And yo, I'm just gonna throw this out there again. I put it out there like every month and no one ever takes me up on it. If you wanted to do an unboxing video of your Patreon packet, that would make me for real excited. You know, just if you wanted to. Also, I realized I hooked this kiwi's beak really sharp, and it turns out kiwi beaks are actually pretty rounded on the end. So, no more sharp beak hook there. We'll just go real curvy. Like so. You know what? I like having thick lines, but I don't like using a thick line pen. I have mine on my desk right now, but I'm waiting to open it with my little cutie baby princess so I can see the delight on her face when she gets to pick a sticker. Aw, that's so cute. You should film that and share it with the internet. Except don't, because your little baby cutie princess is not old enough to consent to online privacy violations. And I don't want to encourage parents stealing the right to internet privacy from their children. I think it's the number one mistake our generation has done as parents. He said as a person with no kids. But very few things drive me as insane as like when someone has a baby and then like the day after the baby is born, that baby has a Facebook page. And I'm like, that baby didn't set up that Facebook page. You are committing fraud by pretending to be that baby. And when that baby is an adult and hates you because it has a Facebook page it did not consent to, I will not blame that baby. It happens more often than you would realize. I should probably make a daily zombie rant about that. People respond better when daily zombie rants about something than when I do. Even people who are wrong about pizza and the actual legal definition of pizza. Like, I'm not saying you're not allowed to enjoy your artisanal flatbread with your white sauce and pizza toppings on it. Your near pizza. I'm saying the legal definition of pizza requires tomato-based sauce by definition. Therefore, if it doesn't have tomato-based sauce, it's not pizza. You're allowed to like it, Not saying you can't. Just saying, not pizza. By definition of pizza. These things have their laws. There are laws, damn it. We need to respect them. You will respect the Webster's Dictionary authority on pizza. Actually, it's more like dictionary.com's authority on pizza. But it turns out, Taco Bell, Mexican pizza, not pizza. Chicken bacon ranch pizza, not pizza. By definition. Barbecue pizza, not pizza. Although barbecue sauce is, I guess, technically a tomato-based sauce. But not all of it. So, barbecue pizza. You're right, though. People should not post their children on the internet. Social media trained a lot of folks incorrectly. I agree. But it was in the best interest of the tech billionaires to train us to have bad behavior when it came to social media and our personal privacy, our ability to think for ourselves, media literacy, education. Pizza with white sauce is what will make me become the Joker. Thank you for also putting pizza in quotation marks there. I actually looked up the definition of pizza one night because when I was still making pizzas, there's a pizza called taco pizza that is available, and it's like refried beans and as the sauce base, and then you put beef on it and the normal mozzarella cheese, and you bake that, and then you put that in the box, and you put cheddar cheese and tomatoes, like chopped tomatoes and lettuce on top of it, and then you crunch up a bunch of Doritos and put that on top of it. And I was like, I hate this. I hate this so much. I hate that this exists. I hate that I have to make it. And I was like, I don't think it even legally counts as pizza. And I was right. It does not. It's a hate crime is what it is. Hate crime against me for having to make it. And it was funny because I only made like 2 the entire time I worked there until I had put in my notice. And for the most part, those ones that I made were for a coworker's wife loved them. And so whenever he and I were not working together, he would come in and get a taco pizza and make me make it. But then I put in my notice, and like the night after I put in my notice, I had to make like 8 of those damn things in one night. I had never made so many taco pizzas before. It made me angry. I was like, this is not fair. This is karmic. I did something wrong. This is karmic retribution of some sort. But not internet-based karmic retribution. I am immune to internet-based karmic retribution. You don't want to FAFO on that. Ask Yeti Detective. He'll tell you. You don't want to FAFO on internet-based karmic retribution and me. So yeah, I am basically just ranting to myself. It sounds like you're reciting H.P. Lovecraft passage, refried beans. Well, if it's an H.P. Lovecraft passage, it probably is a hate crime. Oh, I have something. So I made it into a bookmark, and I've already sold one of the bookmarks. So I made it into a print. It's sitting here on my desk. Should be sitting here on my desk. It is sitting here on my desk. I put Corp Thulu on a print, and it says, "Hustle and grind your sanity away." You gotta get that grind set. And I've been thinking, like, about existential dread and the modern elements of cosmic horror. Because, like, AI is obviously a big piece of the modern elements of cosmic horror, social media stuff. I was like, I think I'm onto something when I look at hustle culture should be an element of existential dread in modern cosmic horror. I think there's a untapped potential in the market. And we know that, like, capitalistic hellscape is a modern subgenre of cosmic horror. Like, that's already a thing that exists. People already write cosmic horror based on capitalism being terrible. But I think there's room there specifically to go into the subgenre, the sub niche of grind set cosmic horror. And someone who is a better writer than me could probably really bring out the potential in that. Of course, you know what? I also, here we go. Things I should watch but don't. Keep in mind, I'm not a big. I didn't have Netflix for a really long time. So when I say this, like, I had decided not to have Netflix, and now I only have Netflix because I live in a house with other people who pay for Netflix and can use their Netflix. I haven't watched Black Mirror, like, at all. So I imagine if anything is going to cover the existential dread of hustle culture in that kind of, as that particular concept, it's probably Black Mirror's already probably covered it. That just seems like the type of thing they would cover. I know that is a like Twilight Zone-esque show that covers technology and society's impacts on technology. Again, I never actually watched it. Never actually watched Black Mirror. Probably should. The description that people have given to me about it definitely feels like it would be right up my alley as a show. But here's a truth, a hard truth for me as a person. Not a hard truth. A truth about me as a person is I don't actually like cosmic horror. I like humor based on cosmic horror. Like, I'm a big fan of Jeremy Peregrine, or David Wong, as he used to go by. Like, John Dies in the End. Big fan of that book series. Rick and Morty is another one that I like. It's hard to admit that because there's so many horrible people who their entire identity is their love of Rick and Morty, but I saw a movie last month, I think, that was extremely in the genre of capitalism as cosmic horror. It was called Ash. Yeah, and that's what I was saying, is capitalism as cosmic horror is definitely, like, well-trod territory at this point. Because, like, even the first big storyline of Welcome to Night Vale is capitalism as cosmic horror. And there's plenty of episodes of Rick and Morty that deal with capitalism as, again, cosmic horror humor, but you should watch Black Mirror. You would like it. I'm sure I would. Like everything anyone's ever told me about it, it sounds like my type of show. Like I said, it's just one of those things that when it was in the zeitgeist, I did not have access to Netflix at all. So probably the next time a season drops, I don't know if they're still making it, or if Netflix has canceled it because of their impending bankruptcy. But that's probably the next time I'll probably next time the hype comes around, I'll jump on the hype train. I do love an anthropology, an anthology show. But like I said, I don't do well with horror in general because of, my broken jerk brain. So like sometimes I try to avoid it. But because of broken jerk brain, I experience a significant amount of existential dread in my life. So I can't help but be drawn to the genre. If that makes sense. Do, 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 do. Come on, Matt. Round and round, round and round. Also a lot of big philosophy horror, like cosmic horror. Like some of that stuff touches way too close to home in my past profession. Not necessarily in cosmic horror per se, because cosmic horror is a little even more bigger, but like psychological horror can get a little too close to home for me sometimes. But Black Mirror is definitely on my list. The current drink of choice is key lime flavored spicy water. Clear American key lime spicy water. It's the best. You gotta love it when your water tastes like a dessert. So something I learned when I was doing the other, like, there we go. Is need to find open holes in the lines. It became a lot easier to stack backgrounds and things if I went ahead and filled these in with white as if I was going to do the color on them. It made a lot of the process easier in different ways. So that's what I'm doing right now. They're coloring book sheets, so they're not going to actually get color. But I want to get this white flatted in so that I can like stack the 2 layers of animals without needing to erase line work and can shift them around and things and still get the effect of them not showing through each other as they would if they were just transparent, if they were just empty lines. Also, I plan to thicken up some of this line art, and it's easier to do if I have that white background to work off of going in. So just a little explainer of why I did what I just did. Because now I'm going to come in here and really thicken. Not super thick, although some of it's going to get pretty thick. But thicken up this line art because it's a coloring book. It's a coloring book, and it can afford to have nice thick lines for the chitlins to color. Also, it's officially going to be a coloring zine for now because I can make a coloring zine in-house. But if I wanted to actually get coloring books printed and have them worth selling, instead of just going the route of using KDP print on demand, which does not make good coloring books, by the way, I would kind of have to work with a manufacturer that's not in the United States. So it might be a while before I get a full-size coloring book. But I have the ability to definitely have the ability to do like a half-sheet zine style coloring book in-house, which is what this is actually being formatted for, this drawing. This drawing will easily translate to a 5.5 by 8 piece of paper, so half letter. It will be very, very easy to do that, and it'll look good when I do. Boop, boop, boo, doop, boo. So obviously some lines I forgot to trim. I'll just trim them up now. It's fine. And I already had someone tell me that she found out I was working on a coloring book, and she was like, as soon as you have one, we will buy one. She has a small child who loves my stickers and is heavily into a coloring phase right now. So I gotta get the coloring book going so that she can have one. And I was like, once I start working on getting the coloring book designed, like just the illustrations done and getting to the actual manufacturing phase, I'm gonna need a beta tester. So I've got one built in, it sounds like. And like I said, I'm just trying to thicken up some of these lines. Coloring sheets need thick lines. Thick. So if anybody is invested in which Sugar Shark becomes the sticker of the week this week, currently Sucker Shark is ahead 8-7 across all social media platforms. So if you want the Gummy Shark to win, you probably want to make sure you're forcing all of your friends and family to vote and making sure they're voting appropriately to your requests and whims, because you don't want them to vote wrong. I've got enough family that voted wrong before. Can't let that ever happen again. And it would be crazy to vote on the Hug Hogger versus Hogging Hugs Hugging Hogs was also split 8-7. So, get your votes in. Get your votes in. And make sure your shark wins. If you're gonna cheat, cheat harder. That's the important part. We actually have a bunch of. It's funny. We have the exact same vote right now, but we've had different people vote this week than voted last week. I might actually have to stop and restart my iPad soon. All right, so let's see. It's already 9 o'clock. Holy cow! I'm gonna stream until 10 tonight. So, got another hour. We should finish up this illustration. I've noticed, of course, there's two different characters on this illustration. I was like, I've noticed that I take a lot longer on these coloring book pages because I'd go back and redo all this line art and add thickness to this line art, and I'm going, I don't know if that means I should be doing that more on my other illustrations, but I like my stuff. I like my work. I had a conversation recently where I was like, the difference between like animator cartoonists like me and a lot of the other artists I know, they all see like how many illustrations I've done and they're like, holy crap, how do you have time to do so many things? And I'm like, look at their work and go, holy crap, how do you have time to do so much detail in one piece of art? Don't you have to draw like 24 of these a minute? Or a second? You know? Like, it's impossible to keep up. And that's just another thing where I am going to have to restart the iPad. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll close Fresco. Boop, 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 close, boop. Every once in a while, I work in ridiculously huge file sizes. The file I'm working on right now is 5,500 pixels by 8,000 pixels. That's right. I'm working in 1,000 DPI for my vector-based art that can be scaled to any size. It's just how I am. I like having a bigger canvas. I forgot I gotta plug my pencil back in or into the iPad again before it'll work again. So while I'm rebooting, reconnecting, and doing all the restarty stuff, I will be at the C Street City Market Thursday afternoon from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. I will have the last 50 Hogger stickers. These little dudes. I have 50 of those left. I'm thinking about taking the reject stickers that did not win the votes and putting together like a little sticker pack for the B team, the runners up, the not good enoughs. I'm gonna have to restart this too. You know, see if we can't get something going for that, because there's a lot of designs here that people liked that did not win. So I'm thinking about doing that. You get a little pack with a dope dog and Hugging Hogs, and a Graduate Bean, and whichever of these Sugar Sharks does not get selected. Right now, probably Gummy Shark. It's down by 1 vote. Okay, let's try restarting this entirely. Hopefully, I didn't break my... There we go. It's like, hopefully I didn't break all of the connection and everything by restarting the iPad. Sometimes that happens and it sucks. Alright, here we go. Let's go back. Get back to work. Back to work. We were down here on this leg. So yeah, if you want to come out and see me Thursday and get a Hug Hogger sticker, that's your last chance to get one of those. Otherwise, you can find me at the C Street Market on Saturday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And that will be your chance to get your hands on the Sugar Shark sticker this week. If you are not currently a member of the Discord, you should definitely jump over to the Discord. Not only do you get to vote, not only is it easy to vote on the Discord for the sticker of the week, but Discord members get access to the vote designs 2 days before everyone else. So the design will go up on Thursday night on Discord, and it will go up Saturday morning on all the other platforms. So if you want to get a head start on the vote, on the competition, start figuring out how you're going to force people into voting your way, you want to get over there on the Discord. The theme for next week, so this upcoming weekend is the Sugar Sharks. The theme for next week is the chill chair, And that sounds like it would be really dumb, and it is. But I feel like I've got one really solid design so far, and a good idea for another really solid design. I've got one really solid design, a solid design I have definitely rejected, and then a really good idea for another design that I think will be cool. So make sure you're joined on the Discord to get a sneak peek of those on Thursday. Otherwise, you'll have to wait until Saturday morning with the rest of the plebs, the plebeians, on the normal social medias. And if you want to get your hands on these stickers without coming to see me at the market at all, you need to sign up for the Patreon. I have gone in to the Patreon and taken and made limited early adopter tiers. Basically, with the increased cost of production, I'm going to have to raise the prices on a lot of stuff, but I did not want to raise the prices on the people who have been supporting me this whole time, if I can avoid it. And right now I can still avoid it for the most part, but I don't want to end up getting a bunch of people. So I've limited those tiers and to the number of people who can join them. And the early adopter tiers are the only ones that will get all of the promotion stickers also. So they're a little cheaper and they get the promotion stickers, but there's a limited number of each one. Otherwise, they will just get the monthly Patreon stickers. And that is a way for me to kind of balance out against the rising costs. And also, like, I make a limited, the promo stickers are all limited editions. And if I end up with too many people on Patreon, I won't have any left over to actually use as promotional stickers. So that's some of the motivation behind that decision. I did the same thing with the print tier. There's an early adopter print tier and a normal print tier now. But like I said, I don't want to ever have to raise the price on the people who have been supporting me from the beginning of the Patreon if I can avoid it. And hopefully I won't ever have to. I really appreciate the support I've been given from you guys, and it means the absolute world to me. That's a little bit closer to the freedom to doodle all day long and not have to sling pizzas. So very much a thank you to all of you for your continued support. Oh. Womp, womp, womp. Now that sappiness is out of the way, almost done sticking with these sticker lines on this kiwi. I think it looks pretty good. I'm glad I came back and did it. Wah, 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 wah. There's our kiwi. Put him there. And we can turn off his sketch layers. All right, now we've got our snail we need to draw. So I'm actually going to blow him up bigger. No, I don't want to do that because I don't want his lines to be too small. If I blow him up bigger, do his line art, and then shrink him back down, his lines will shrink also. So let's come in here. Ick. Oh, purple hearts. I don't know if it will let me do it on Twitch or not. Nope, doesn't look like it will. I would say green. There we go, green hearts. Let's throw some green hearts in the chat. You go with those purple hearts. Because, you know what? Green is the Mental Health Awareness Month color. But yeah, I really do. I really appreciate the support. It means so much. I gotta say, I've been doing gig economy work, and it's been much better for my mental health. I actually am not making, well, depending on the day. Like if it's a super busy day, I actually make more per hour. But like, it's just better. It's better for my mental health. The stress is much less. It's physically less demanding on me. And at the rate I've been going, I might be able to buy my new computer in June, assuming the computer prices don't super skyrocket between now and then, which is a possibility, but not like a huge one, really. And having a new computer will make a big difference for a lot of things. Like the stream should be smoother with the new computer. And I should be able to effectively run OpenTunes on the new computer. And that means doing more animation work. And I absolutely love animation work. And I think there might even be a live performance animation tool plugin for OpenTunes. I know there is for Cartoon Animator. And if there is, maybe that'll help me get a little bit closer to my personal lifelong dream of being a cartoon character. I know that's kind of a goofy thing, but like it's true. It's like a thing I've always wanted. I've had this conversation many a times with many people. I want a closet where you just open it up and it has infinite number of the exact same outfit in it. I want to defy the laws of physics on a semi-regular basis just because I can. If there's any one piece of technology, it would be the turn me into a cartoon technology. That's what I would fund. There's actually a superhero, a Marvel superhero, that is basically a living cartoon character. And I know a lot of people are aware of the character of Freakazoid, the WB animation character Freakazoid. But I don't know how many people know that Freakazoid is actually kind of a ripoff character of a character called Slapstick. Although Freakazoid is powered by memes in a world that the word meme had not really come into popular use yet. He's an internet creature entity. And Slapstick is literally powered by like the clown dimension. I thought you were the zombie. I I voice him. I voice him and animate him. Roses are red, zombies are teal. I think you all have heard all my spiel. That's not the zombie voice. There's zombie's voice is here. This is where the zombie voice is. It's me, Daily Zombie, here to tell you an important information regarding your brain. So that's zombie voices there, and then if you take that same voice and I go into the upper part of my nose instead of the back of my throat, it's me, Smeech. I'm Smeech. I'm right here. Yeah, Smeech. And then my little brother pointed out, if I split the difference between the two, it's almost like Goku. I can't do it. All of a sudden, Goku, you idiot! You blew up my planet. Catch the cricket, Goku! Catch the cricket! Yeah. Every day. Those are voices I can do for extended periods of time. not all of the voices that I have created for characters over the years I can do for extended periods of time. The one, I think the voice I have in my repertoire that is the hardest for me to maintain, it like really tears up my throat,
is my Muppet voice. Hello, friends, this is Muppet Voice. Muppet Voice really feels weird on the tonsils. Like, it really just vibrates the back of my throat in a weird way.
Well, it must have been recognizable enough that you recognized it. So so yeah, if you take King Kai's voice and you go a little more gravelly and a little more back of the throat, then it becomes the zombie's voice, especially when you give him a little bit of the zombie accent.
And if you take it
if you take it way up here and you go in like this, then it's the speech voice. It's like Pearman, spaghetti boots. And that's how that works out. Oh. My throat is still tingly from doing Muppet voice. I don't know what it is about Muppet voice that makes my throat feel weird. It really does like jiggle my tonsils or something. It's just a weird feeling that I get when I'm doing it. So almost any other voice I do is more of an accent than a voice. When you are a forever GM, you get used to doing some voices and some accents. I've been trying out some new things too, trying to work some new voices into the repertoire. Just to stretch my horizons a bit, give myself some room to maneuver. One recent addition that I've been trying to work on, and if you watch the Daily Zombie, you've heard the voice. It's the voice I used for the bunny. The oh boy, jelly beans bunny. And it's like my Mad Hatter voice is what I'm trying to kind of get going there. And it's kind of a tribute to my friend Delson, who is a voice actor. It's a voice he uses quite a bit. And I was kind of trying to match that voice because I thought it would be fun to throw it back at him in Dungeons and Dragons at some point, if I'm being completely honest. But you know, it's the cartoon guy voice who's just super excited about so many things. It's still a work in progress. It's not perfected yet. There's not enough no's in that voice that I just did. But yeah, I love doing voices. I love cartoons. I love drawing. I'm basically a child in an adult body. As far as my hobby preferences go. If I was independently wealthy, I would use that money to collect toys, probably. When I had a good steady paying income job, I my favorite thing in the world was my Loot Crate subscription for so long. This would be like toys every month. Toys! Toys right to my house! No. Anyway, let's just... But yeah, if I got some, if I could get a live animation performance, like 2D VTuber, basically software, that's not character animator, I would definitely be streaming as a cartoon character. And I know a lot of people who do that. A lot of people who do that because they don't want their face to be on the stream, like they don't want people to see them. That is not my thing at all. I don't worry about the fact that my head is shaped like a potato and you can see the lumps on my head and all that stuff. That doesn't bother me. Because I'm so beautiful as a man. I don't worry about people seeing my face or the top of my head most of the time when I'm drawing. Although it probably would be better to be a VTuber because you would see my actual face instead of the top of my head when I'm drawing. Or at least the cartoon face. But like I said, I've always wanted to be a cartoon. That's like my life goal, is to be a cartoon. And that's pretty close to it. So that's what I want to do. I bought a Starscream action figure this weekend. I am 42 years old. Yeah, but you're also financially in a place where you can afford to be eccentric. But power to you, man. Here's the okay. Here's one of those things where I don't know how this it actually impacts my particular like nerd cred, because I feel like the people who know me, like my nerd cred claimants, the people who would back up my nerd cred already, know it. And I know Yeti Detective knows this. And it's kind of despite his best efforts. I'm not a big Transformers guy. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate the Transformers, but it's not my fandom. I'm not a Transformers stan, so to speak. All right. This guy's great. I'm really happy with how this snail came out. I am. It's looks exactly the way I wanted him to. And you know what's great about doing a coloring book drawing is this section. Let's put a new layer so I can do this section right here. If I was going to be coloring this in and trying to render this, that section would be a pain in my butt, because it's the inside of the snail shell that is not part of the snail's body. Okay. Not a big deal. You could easily render it as a solid black or like a shaded gradient, depending on how realistic you wanted to get with it. Like there's options. There's options there. But I'm a vector artist, and a lot of the options that make it look really good are not the way I would work in my style. But because this is a coloring book, I don't have to worry about it. Some 4-year-old gets to decide what color that's going to be, and they have the benefit of being a 4-year-old, which means that they can make it neon green and everything else fuchsia, and no one will question their choices. Basically all I'm saying here. All right, you, Mr. Snail. Shrink you down a bit. So what do we think? Is this a good coloring book page? Is this a good coloring book page for going forward? Snail and Kiwi in the restaurant. Little snail down here being all... Yes, chef! The outside lines of this probably need to be a little more thick and still. I can do a lot of that work. A lot of that will be just cleaned up in my actual editing software. I'll do it in Affinity Studio. It'll be... It's gonna be a good time. And I'm gonna come in here. And this is gonna be... Wow. Page 11. I said page 11, not H. There we go. Kiwi Chef. There we go. 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 All right, so now we got 11 of 26 pages done. That's not bad. E is for electric eel spinning the jams. I forgot that I put text on these. A is for axolotl reading a book. B is for beaver inspecting the site. I'll bring them over here, you guys. And get your little trip down memory lane as to what our actual pages that we finished look like over here. Oh. There we go. C is for camel. Guiding the tours. I forgot camel tour guide. D is for dung beetle, collecting the soap. So I'm going to have to add a whole lot of set design, scene design into this Kiwi picture here, because there's a lot of scene design in all of these. E is for electric eel, spinning the jams. F is for fiddler crab, fiddling the tunes. G is for giraffe, keeping the zoo. H is for hamster, haxering the Gibson. I is for Indri, selling lemonade. Actually, he's selling lemonade. J is for jaguar, collecting the coins. And now, K is for kiwi, keeping the kitchen. In fact, I'm going to write that on here. K is for kiwi, keeping the kitchen. There. Now I'll know. Now I know, and knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe. All right. I'm not going to start another coloring book page tonight because we've only got about 25 minutes left. What I will do, ban that guy. What I will do, bloop, is I will bring open the wheel. Right now, there are only 4 things on the wheel, so feel free to add anything you want. Right now on the wheel, we've got Acorn Man's arch nemesis, the Villa Nuts Cracker. Sloth and a hang glider. Fork and outlet friends. And the Cobicorn, a unicorn with a corncob horn. So that's what's on the wheel. And I'm gonna go ahead and spin it. Spin, 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 spin. Cobicorn. Cobicorn.
Kobe corn, unicorn with corn cob horn.
Kobe corn, unicorn with corncob horn. All right, so we're drawing a Cobicorn. This was asked, specifically requested just this last weekend at the market. Someone said, I would love to see a unicorn with a corncob horn. And I said, I'll put it on the wheel. And so I did. So we'll start with a little horse head here. Just real rough shape of a horse head. When I told my mom about this request, she was like, and then you could give it wheat blocks for its mane. And I was like, that's an idea. That sounds extremely time consuming to draw. It's looking a little bit like a Jacob horse right now. And if you don't get that reference, you need to watch more YouTube-based art shows. That's okay. We're just simplifying the body real fast. I'm actually going to bring up my Derpicorn picture. What? I don't know what you're talking about. Don't know what you're provoking here. Images, illustrations, cute monsters, unicorn, derpicorn, derpicorn, doo. Wah. Okay, let's try doing something different here. Like that. And then little conical head. Horse ears. This will be the horn location. No. Nope. So, it probably will be my second coloring book. Once I finish the Animal Geeks coloring book, I'm probably going to do a Fantasy Creatures coloring book. And Derpicorn will definitely be a fantasy creature in the Fantasy Creatures coloring book. But we're going to get a little horse body going on here. And horse leg. In the background, we have another horse leg. I was whatting about Cornicorn. So literally, I had a woman who comes and sees me at most markets. And she was like, I had this idea, and I thought it would be really cute to see it drawn in your style. And it's a unicorn with a corn cob for a horn. And I was like, I could probably draw that. I think I'm screwing these legs up. I gotta figure out. I gotta pull up a reference image. And then I came home and told my mom about the idea. And she was like, you should give it wheat for its mane. And I was like, I could do that, probably. Okay, so the bones on a horse's, so there's new layer here. They got a little spine that comes like this and comes out into their tail. This is a horse spine, okay? Then you got horse shoulder blade and horse rib cage. And then their neck joins up in their spine and comes up here. Okay. So, off of their hips, it comes out here, and then this bone comes down here, and then it comes out over here, and they have a backwards knee, and it comes down here, and it comes down to their hoof, because they're little digigrade. They're digigrade monstrosities. Horses are monsters. So they're very, very similar to dogs, but not quite dogs. Right? Good. Everybody understands that now. So basically what we've got is a leg that comes like this, and then is on a hoof. Not good at drawing horses. That is not the type of little girl I was. There's a reason the Derpicorn looks so derpy. All right, and then their front leg is more streamlined. It's like bloop, bloop, bloop. And then we'll bring this one and go bloop, bloop, bloop. And thicken it up a little bit with some horse muscle. There. Horse anatomy. Horse anatomy is weird. Laying down. So we have to ask ourselves, as I'm doing some design work choices here on this horse, on this unicorn, like, why would a unicorn have a cabicorn? Why would a cabicorn, right? Like, what would cause that, for lack of a better term, evolutionary divergence in the unicorn population, right? Like, that's an important question to understand the answer to, I think, as we're designing this character, this creature. Because we gotta know what causes, like, is it a plant-based unicorn? Is that the $64 million question? Like, is that the thing that we've got going on here? Is plant-based unicorn? Or is it something else? And I think if we go off my mom's suggestion, I think my mom was saying this should be a plant-based unicorn, which is fine. Like an elemental GMO in the corn. Oh, that's funny. That's actually not a bad suggestion. All right, so this is going to be my rough sketch here. Bring it back to center. So, as I start to refine this sketch, I'm going to want a definitive ground plane. There. I kind of like that, actually. It's all Monsanto's fault. Brand the unicorn. But I think because my art attracts a lot of children. Although this was an older woman that specifically requested this drawing. I was like, maybe I'll just make it a full-on plant elemental. I bet what she was like going is like she saw the cornstalker and the unicorn and was like, let's combine those two. I bet that's exactly how this happened. That's okay. That's okay. It's okay for that to happen. Cornstalker, honestly, Cornstalker and Derpercord are both like some of my most popular prints ever. There's my most popular illustrations. Like, definitely Derpercorn is up there with Reading Makes Me Axolotl Smarter and Delicious Cannibalism. And Cornstalker was the first like weekly sticker I did. The first market sticker I did that made people like go like, hey, my friend has this like corn rogue that you did. I want one. So take of that what you will. All right, now I'm gonna go back down here. And how do I do I don't want to give it the same derpy smile as the Derpercorn. So I'm gonna maybe pull up another reference of a horse face. See what other people have done because I kind of want to give it a bigger smile. This is okay. Yeah. I got an idea. So we'll go. So take this. All right. We're gonna bring it here and then flip it there. And when I come down here, I'm gonna cut this thing's head off. Wah! Actually, I don't want to do that. I want to. I don't want to lose all of the reference lines there. So I'm gonna need to come to this layer and redraw in that circle reference. Bring the head back here. This is the line. Hey, let's do a different color. That'll help. this down like this. So that gives me a eyes here coming out this way. Smile. Like so. And then that ear now comes out over here. And this ear is over here. And this can come up here. Like that. There we go. That looks better. Now I can clean that back up and bring it back to where I want it to be. So we'll I want to give it like super happy eyes, I think. In the way that I've been doing super happy eyes on Daily Zombie with the big cheeky curves. And then nostril outlines here like this. It comes back like so. And bring this down. Yeah, like that. So there would be the back of that side of the mouth. Yeah, there we go. Square that face off a little bit. It's a horse. It's fine for him to have a squared face. So bring this line down. And give him big horse teeth. Horses have big teeth, right? Isn't that like a whole thing? Like big old horse teeth? Like that. And then need a mane. So we'll bring did I screw this up? Did I make this work worse? I think I made this worse. Yeah. You guys ever had a night? Let's go like a curl here. Like that. Pointy hair here. And bring this one like this around. The other ear is over there, looking out that way. And then strong horse legs. All right, this isn't as horrible as I thought it was a second ago, I think. Bring these down. Wah, 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 wah. I love it. Horses have distinctive teeth. I'm glad you like it, because right now I'm not entirely sold on it, but that's all part of the process. Sometimes you're like, this looks like crap, and then you have to actually like trust that the process will bring out what it's supposed to bring out. I don't know that this one will, but it's definitely making progress. It's growing on me. It's at a place where if I took this drawing as a sketch and started over and did another sketch based on this sketch, then I would be getting to where I want it to be, which is sometimes also just part of the process. Have you watched the Netflix She-Ra and Princess of Power? There's a very annoying unicorn in that, and this guy you have just drawn is evocative of him. His name is like Sparkle or something. I feel like you should know the answer to that based on the other stuff I haven't watched on Netflix. No, I have not watched the She-Ra Princess of Power on Netflix. Again, not because I hate She-Ra or anything. Although, full admission, I mean, I'm definitely a He-Man type of guy. I didn't really watch She-Ra growing up. Oh, that was a little before my time. If I'm being honest, I'm more of a 1989 Ninja Turtles kind of guy than anything else. See, so this isn't a bad sketch. Like, it has some issues with some of the proportions here, and it could definitely stand to have a bit of cleanup done to get it into more of the right shapes that I want. But all in all, it's not a bad drawing. Like, I'm not ashamed of this, I guess, is what I'm saying. But it is a good place for us to stop for the night. It is 10 o'clock, 9:59. I have the sketch done for this Capricorn. I probably will finish this drawing off stream. I don't think I will wait till I'm back on stream to finish up the Capricorn. I will be back Wednesday night at 8 p.m. doing something. We'll figure something out. I don't know. What you guys want to do? You want to draw more coloring book pages? You want to work on some sticker design? I don't care. I'm flexible. I'm open for a little bit of anything. If you have suggestions that you want to have put on the wheel, just send them to me. I'll get them on the wheel. You can just show up at the market and be like, hey, put this on the wheel, and then I will. That works for me. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. I've had a good time drawing some doodles for you. I hope you've had a good time watching me doodle. I don't have anything else really to say tonight. It's been a news day. It's been a Monday. It's been a day of watching the Devil May Cry cartoon. Go out and have a wonderful evening. Remember that pizza has to have a tomato-based sauce on it to legally be considered pizza. And other than that, remember, as always, to stay weird. I'll see you next time. Have a